Hey, Funksters! Welcome to our third episode of Rep Exalted. This week, I'd like to discuss negative reputation points, how to avoid them, and strategies on realizing when you've made a mistake and making a mental note to avoid doing that in the future. So, any relationship is a series of compromises in order to make sure that everybody's happy, right? If you're not compromising, you're probably not going to stay in that relationship for very long. And I'm not trying to be negative, but hey, that's kind of the tone of this video, right? So there are things that we say sometimes that can put us in the proverbial doghouse. There are touchy subjects, and you should know your spouse better than I do as far as like politics, life issues, religion. Think about the things that you try not to talk about at a party, and those are the things you might want to avoid discussing with your spouse unless you know what their stance is already, or you're willing to take a hit on your reputation if you're going to have a conflict one way or the other. Now, I'm not saying avoid all conflict, but I'm saying go into conflict knowing what the consequences are, and to know how to maintain your reputation moving forward. Don't dig yourself into a hole that you can't get yourself back out of, is essentially what I'm trying to say. So, I mean, talking about family, talking about their work, their status in life, serious conversations, one way or the other, can lead to conflict. And it's okay. I mean, life is about conflict sometimes, but what I'm helping you guys and girls to do is to keep things smooth and amicable for you so that you can maintain your gaming, right? So, when you see that look on their face, like, oh, I just said something I shouldn't have, when you've done something that they're like, oh, why did you do that? Like, surprise purchases, never a good idea. I think you probably know this. And, some people believe that asking for forgiveness is easier than asking for permission. Not if you don't want to be in the doghouse. Just think about things from their perspective the best you can. Now, it's really hard to get into your significant other's mindset. And sometimes I joke with my wife about men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's hard for me to understand your perspective. But try, right? Think about what it is that they don't want to be hearing, don't want you to be doing. What's going to irritate them, right? What's going to cause unnecessary conflict? A good long-term relationship is in a lot of ways about compromise and not necessarily avoiding conflict, because the relationship advice my wife and I give everyone at their wedding is learn how to fight. Learn how to have a good argument, resolve it, and move forward, right? But what I'm saying is, like, don't poke the bear unnecessarily. So there are other things that you can do that are going to negatively affect your reputation. So not doing chores around the house at all, right? My brother-in-law works a completely separate shift from his wife. They see each other kind of in passing. If he spends all day playing video games and doesn't clean up the house, he's not going to have a very fun time when his wife comes home. And I'm not saying anything negative about either of them, because that's a reasonable expectation on her part, and I completely understand his perspective of wanting to game like a freak all day long. I get both sides, right? I'm just saying that there's a middle ground. I've had those days where it's like 4:30, the family's coming home in a half an hour, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't done anything today. And sorry if I swore there, but and I'll do a mad dash through the kitchen, empty the dishwasher of all the clean dishes, load it up with dirty dishes and start it running, wipe down the countertops, and in like 20 minutes, it looks like I stopped to think about my family, which I did, but I didn't put in an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever. So there's small things you can do to maintain on a daily basis. And I'm not saying put in 2 hours every day. I'm saying put in some thought into their perspective and avoiding negative reputation moments in your life. And as I said, certain hot subjects, you might need to read them and realize that, hey, wait a minute, today isn't the day to talk to them about that thing that's been bugging me, right? So these are just thoughts and strategies to help you guys avoid negative reputation so that you don't have to do quite so many quests to maintain your highest level of reputation, your exalted reputation. I hope this really helped you guys and girls. I'd love for you guys to keep watching these videos. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comments down below for any thoughts that you have for future videos, if you have questions for me, etc. Tuesday night, Nighthold came out in the new World of Warcraft expansion. It's a whole great big new dungeon. I stayed up until 5 in the morning. I was in a pickup group. We killed the last boss. It was amazing. However, I was exhausted the next day, and I've been trying to claw my way back up to Exalted Reputation since that all-nighter. So, I mean, think about this, guys. We're all adults. We all make decisions, and sometimes it's worth the hit in reputation for what you're going to get, for what you're going to do. But know what you're doing first. Know what the consequences are before you take action. Thanks so much for watching, Funksters. I hope this helped. Like, subscribe, and funk on.